But if you're not sleeping at night, what is the purpose of your plan? Isn't the plan really to help people sleep well at night instead of just forcing them into something that they're not comfortable with? So that's why we do our portfolio x-ray here, to help people, first of all, understand where they stand, and then number two, find where they're most comfortable so they can ride out those ups and downs of the market without emotional stress.
No secret to you guys, overall, the markets have been performing pretty well. A couple fluctuations here and there. But I heard one of the pundits say the other day that if you feel emotional when the market dips, you may not be allocated appropriately and may not be well suited for being in the market at all if it affects you that much. I mean, do we agree with that?
Well, investing can be emotional. You know, sometimes we choose investments based on companies we like or things we feel good about, things like that. So that can influence the things we actually even invest in if we're not careful. But think about it. When is the best time to invest in the market? When it's near an all-time low or when it's near an all-time high? Right now we're near an all-time high. And so you really have the opportunity right now to run the risk of being emotional, because when you're at an all-time high, and I'm not saying the market's going to drop tomorrow or even next week or next month or even maybe next year, who knows? Typically, those things come undetected. We don't expect it when it happens. But a lot of it, to me, depends on your age and your stage of life.
It does. And I do think, Greg, I agree with the statement that it might be a sign you might not be diversified enough. And I think you should talk about that more, because I'm thinking about me.
Right.
And when I got pretty heavy in one stock several years back,
right,
I was stressed out all the time. We talked about it on the radio. I mean,
this was your personal investing.
My personal investing. And I handle our personal investing for the most part because Greg's busy with our clients. So, I'll get cues from him and he'll tell me what to do. But for the most part, the ball's in my court. And, I was getting pretty aggressive in a few areas, and it took me pulling back a little bit and putting some money in other places to start feeling better and not feeling so stressed all the time.
Right. A big part of this is, and I think this is really a key here to keep our emotions in check. How much are we actually comfortable losing? When you really boil it down, it's not, am I moderate? Am I conservative? Am I aggressive? But how much money do you feel like you can lose? Because in my mind, proper allocation equals emotional comfort.
What do you say to those people that say, I'm not really comfortable? I mean, I may not be comfortable if I lose anything. I mean, they have that concern.
Well, what's the root cause of that? So really, when you start looking at the reasoning, it's kind of like that psychology exercise. Well, why is that? Why is that? Why is that? You get down to, typically, it's because they need that money to survive. And I mean, of course, you don't want to lose any of your money. That's like a universal feeling. But when it's like that feeling of extreme emotional response, it's because you're either getting income out of those dollars that you have at risk in the market, or, you need them for the short term and you can't afford to lose it, because let's, remember that the market is for long-term investing. Those averages are over the long term.
Although, Kristen, we have families that absolutely are not comfortable with their portfolio dropping a single penny. And we've got families that have absolutely no money in the stock market because they're not comfortable with it.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't matter. I could talk to them all day long, as my mother used to say, till I'm blue in the face. But that's not going to change their opinion. So what I had to do was help them find growth avenues without market risk, which we have some. And that's what they're allocated to because that's what they were comfortable with. But we have a program here called Riskalyze. We ask a series of questions. You'll think you're going to the financial eye doctor, but at the end of that, what we find out is what your specific risk score is between 1 and 99, 1 being ultra conservative, 99 being ultra aggressive. We have some clients that are 32s. We have some that are maybe a 55. We have some that are an 87. The point isn't what the number is. The point is finding your specific comfort zone. because then we can build the portfolio to fit your specific comfort zone. So you are a match to the portfolio that fits you rather than you being forced to change your comfort level to what somebody else wants to put you in. And over and over again here lately, we've had people coming in and said, I've been telling my advisor that I'm not comfortable with that much risk. And they told me that we just needed to trust them, that what they were doing was best. But if you're not sleeping at night, what is the purpose of your plan? Mm-hmm. Isn't the plan really to help people sleep well at night instead of just forcing them into something that they're not comfortable with? So that's why we do our portfolio x-ray here, to help people, first of all, understand where they stand. And then number two, find where they're most comfortable so they can ride out those ups and downs of the market without emotional stress.